Now, I don't know how many people have ever searched the planets on Google for images of the planets. But I myself recently went to an observatory and through fairly high-powered telescopes, I did some observations of the so-called planets. And I certainly didn't see anything as good as this. This to me is a CGI rendered image. You've only got to look at the polar region. It just doesn't sit right at the top there, does it? What a strange looking polar region indeed. Very strange. And when you look at these planets, they're very bright. They're like lights. They truly look like stars, basically, and they always were called the wandering stars. There's certainly something different about the planets to the rest of the stars. And on observing the stars, and another video I'll do on these, they really just look like a snowflake. They seem to be hollow in the centre. And I asked the guy there that's been 30 years in this and set this all up, I said, is that what they're supposed to look like? Is that what I'm looking at, these snowflakes? He said, yeah, that's it. And I thought, well, he's happy with that. And I thought, how strange everything that's said about these things, when observing through a powerful telescope, they really look like a snowflake. Now, the Venus was having a phase where there was a shadow over Venus. So it was a horn-shaped Venus, as it were. And it certainly was very, very bright. As you know, it's related to Lucifer, as it were, the light bearer or the morning star idea. And certainly how they can say everything they say about them from observing from an observatory with powerful telescopes, there was just big gaps in my mind, totally. Big gaps. Let's just look at a few other images of Mars. Or is it Alpha like Omega? But certainly this one, of course, the polar ice cap bit is compared to the other one. But certainly these black areas, which I guess they call the seas, are quite a bit different, aren't they? And I notice this one here, and quite a bit different again. So will the real Mars please stand up? Will the real Mars please stand up? Then we get these from Pathfinder. That's what it says here anyway. And, well, now that looks very, very cosmetic, doesn't it? If it's anywhere, it's somewhere in Arizona. The sky has a habit of changing colour drastically there. And look at this one here. Now that really looks like Arizona, doesn't it? Look at the brilliant image of this here. It's quite clear, isn't it? For something in all the heat that's purported to be there. And look at this business here. What have they got going on down here? And then, of course, we have that Hoagland guy and all these, the faces of Sedona, etc. Now this one's interesting, isn't it? Looks a bit like a turtle here. It's sandy. Yeah, it's a lot of sand on Mars. And that there, now that's very Arizona, isn't it? If I've ever seen it. And here's showing the comparative size difference. And here's another one here. No, and certainly totally different seas. And you can see from this one to this one to this one, certainly no consistency whatsoever. Look at this one here, no ice caps. It really is a strange thing. What are these, clouds or something? A little bit of polar region stuff here. Then we've got this image of Mars. That's an interesting image, eh? It's really snowed up there. Well, I tell you, these are supposed to be the two sides of Mars, are they? Oh, and here's one that looks like it's the polar cap taken from above. Come up. Hang on a second. Ooh, there it is. Now, look at this outside part here. How fake does that look? Polar. Oh dear, there's quite a bit of a different image there. Look, they've even got lines drawn on here. This is bizarre. Look at this one here. Again, the upside down image, different seas, these hot, circle things, and a different looking polar thing where it's a bit thin at the top. I mean, no consistency whatsoever. Wish we'd had all these images when I was back at school. I would have noticed this then. I'm not silly. And I was a bit interested in things like this, and I would have said, nothing's consistent, because you only had the odd book you looked at, and we just didn't have the tool that this internet has given us, really, to observe these things. This, you could just you could make this up somehow. And it's just a funny image altogether. What's that in there? Oh, look, see? They say put little things in here to have people really, talking. Oh, I wonder what that is. This is supposed to be the craft on there. Oh, well, that's Lego. Somebody said Lego should build a spaceship. It would be interesting, that's for sure. And here we are. This is this is where they've all gone. Viking, Pathfinder, Opportunity knocks. And I see some have been up at the top there, or the bottom. Depends which photo you look at. Yes, whoa, gee, this computer, all these modern computers are so sensitive. I just want one that, stays on the page. This astronaut with his hands up. And that's what an alien from Mars looks like, in case you didn't know, folks. So we've definitely got some problems with Mars. As we know, I've done stuff on the mission to Mars, which is fraudulent as hell. As you know, rockets are fraudulent. All this business. The space is fraudulent. Oh, here we go again. Now I can't even get back to put my recorder off. Gee, what's going to happen here? Help us. No, I've got the X out now. I don't know what you're watching there, but my computer's completely played up on me. Oh, come on. Just a white screen here I'm looking at. Nothing will happen. Ah! Terrible. Oh well. No, there we go. All that time for nothing. Yeah, sorry about that, folks, but I'll cut that out in the video. Had terrible trouble with the computer there. Went to a white screen for some reason. Here we have 2049. 2049, eh? 69. 69 for the two arches. And that's when the mission's going to go on there. Blazing Mars. I tell you, it can't be all of them, can it? Yes, I've never seen so many different images for a planet. Well, I'm going to look at all the different planets here. And we'll really suss this all out. But rest assured, nothing adds up. Look at this one here. First rendered images of Mars. Look at these huge mountains. You see what I mean? What garbage this all is. Absolute garbage. Oh, look out, there's the Earth and Mars together. But the Earth is always much smaller on the moon. Earthrise on the moon, as they call it. There's so much garbage in this space stuff. I just don't know how people can't see this. And the fraudulent people like Michio Kaku and Gracia Tyson, and now the infamous Chris Lamb Morrow, the Water of Lamb man. Yes, to say I'll look at all the planets, and I'm sure then people will really, hopefully they'll know that these things are really fraudulent. This one's got 2 ice poles, see? What's this? What the hell's happening here? This is an interesting little GIF image, isn't it? Very interesting indeed, the stuff that they throw up. It amuses children, and unfortunately a lot of adults are children, and that's just the way it is.